is a good day. My best friend's in town, she brought me coffee, and we're gonna be filming probably my most requested video that I've gotten. When I was pregnant with my only son, Wilson, I got this so much, like, please do a baby names I love won't be using video. But here's the thing, these are baby names that I love and will most likely use because I do not like a lot of baby names. It's so hard to name a baby. In high school, I had a whole list of baby names that I was like, oh yeah, I'll use those. No. Point where once I actually was having a baby, I was like, I do not know how people name kids because this is so hard. Okay, let's give a little background. I feel like everyone has like a vibe or like a feeling of the names that they like. You know, if they're old or cool, or I don't even know what this name vibe I like is. So y'all can tell me, these are just names that I resonate with, that I'm like, oh, these are cute and pretty, and I maybe can imagine naming my kid this. I only have one girl name. Don't think I'm gonna be sharing it because it's literally the only girl name that I like, that I can actually be like, I think I would name my daughter that one day. Which that might change when I'm actually pregnant with a daughter, but I don't know if I'll share it. As soon as I get pregnant with a daughter, a little girl, I will share her name before she's born probably, because like I don't think I could change the name. Anyway, those are really hard. I like more unisex names for girls, like strong names. My name is Greer. It sounds more girly now, but when I was a kid, I was like, that's such a boyish name. Other girls were named Haley and Ashley and whatever, and I was Greer. That just does not sound good, but now I'm like, I like it. It's strong, it's different, it's not super common. But my son Wilson's name is also strong. It's usually a last name, same with my name. But it's not a name that every kid in kindergarten is gonna have. There's so many of those names that are popular, and if you like the popular names, that's totally fine. But there are names that are gonna be popular, and then a bunch of kids in kindergarten and preschool are gonna have the same names. Let's actually get into the names. So I think I'm gonna go every other, and then I'll do like unisex in there. So I feel like all these names are, I don't know, there's not a lot of girl names, so here we go. So I feel like a lot of the names are unisex, and so I think I'm just gonna do every other boy, girl, and then throw the unisex in there. So it might be all over the place. Let's just get into the names. Okay, so the first name that I have on here is Rhodes. I really like that for a boy. I think it's really pretty. R-H-O-D-E-S, Rhodes. Really cool name. I don't know what to say about it. This was one of my top contenders when I had Wilson. I really did not like a lot of names who came up with his name a month before he was born. And before that, my husband, this is on the list too, I'll tell you. The name was Bear. Like, my husband was like, that's his name, it's Bear. And I just was not liking it. I think it's a really cute name, but I am like, I can't. If you are familiar with the band Need to Breathe, the main singer is Bear Reinhardt, and he's awesome and great. And I'm like, yeah, that's really cool, but it's our favorite band, so it makes sense. But I'm like, oh, I just can't. Okay, the girl name that I really like, not the girl name that I really like, but a girl name that I like is Reverie. I think it's really pretty. It's girly, but like still strong. I don't know, it's really cool, but it's kind of a reverie. It's a little tongue twister like, but it's really beautiful. Okay, the next boy name that I like is Clive. It's older but different. Clyde is a more common, like I have a great grandpa Clyde or great grandpa Clyde, and I think that's really cool, but it's a little more common. But Clive is actually my husband's favorite writer, C.S. Lewis, but he writes a lot of really great Christian books, and he's really cool. Bobby really likes him, so Clive makes sense. I actually like his whole name, Clive Staples Lewis. All those names are really cool. Like Staples is a middle name. That's a cool middle name. Okay, next girl name I like is Maeve. That's a very common girl name, I feel like. Not very common, but it's a more common name. I think it's really pretty. Another boy name I like is Ledger. I don't really know. I don't have a lot to say about these names because I'm just like, oh, I like it. Okay, next girl name I like, this is also kind of girly, Odette. It's very pretty. It's French. I don't know what it means, but one of my, not my favorite actors, but one of my like crushes when I was little was Jared Padalecki, and his daughter's name Odette. That's where I found that name. For a boy, the next name I like is Bodie. This was actually a name Bobby really liked. This was a top contender for Wilson's name. It means a messenger, which we really liked. I don't know why I know the meaning of that, but I don't know a meaning of a lot of these names. But it's a really cute boy name. Bodie. I don't know. I feel like it's a little more common. Like I feel like I've seen a few Bodies or met a few Bodies somewhere along the way, and it's cute, but too common, I think, for what I like. Okay, the next girl name is Clark. Okay, I know, it is a boy-ish name, I would say, but I was at the playground one day, and this cute little girl in her high top Converse and pigtails, like with her babysitter, was there, and I was like, oh my gosh, hi, she's so cute. And she's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh, what's your name? And her name was Clark, and she was so cute. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that name. I like boy names for girls. I think they're really fun and strong. That's a cute name. Okay, next boy name is Kent, which if you just connected that, Clark Kent, I have never been a fangirl of anything in my entire life. Like I just have never been like, oh, Justin Bieber, like, oh, this, that. Let me tell you about Tom Welling. He played Superman. Well, he played Clark Kent in the show Smallville. If you've watched Smallville, I watched that when I was in elementary school. It came out in like 2002 or something. So I was little and I was watching that show, and I loved that show. And he played Clark Kent through high school. He was the big brother in Cheaper by the Dozen, Charlie. I just like about died every time I saw him. I thought he was the cutest, most handsome. I was obsessed. So anyway, I had a weird Superman phase. I also, like I said, I had brothers. So I really liked Superman. So Clark Kent, I don't know. It's kind of funny. But anyway, Kent is a cute name for a boy. It's like kind of an older man's name. Like there's older men named Kent, you know? But I think it's cute. Okay. Okay, girl names. This one, LaRue. I don't know where I heard this name, but LaRue. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. Call her Rue. LaRue. It's very weird. See, my girl names, I just don't know what's going on. I don't know what girl names I like. Okay, next boy name is Irie or Ivor. I like both those. They're very cool. When I was in Hawaii, we met a little baby named, I think his name was Irie. And we're like, that is so cool. But Irie, Ivor, those are cool names. They're very different. I don't know. For girl, I like the name Arbor. Some of these, when I'm reading them, I'm like, what the heck? When did I find these names? Arbor. It's cool. It's pretty, I think. It has like a little feminine touch with still being really strong. Okay, for a boy, I like the name, I have Merrick on here. That's a very strong name. Merrick Moorhead. Our last name is Moorhead, and that would be a very, Merrick Moorhead. I don't know. Bobby always thinks about names as sports terms, like not sports terms, but like when he plays, you know, whatever sport, and they're like, whatever, Wilson Moorhead, like whatever they're gonna say, you know, he always thinks about that. Okay, the next girl name I like, this one is I would never have thought this. You know, when you meet people or see people, you're like, oh, I can totally see someone named that now. I was watching an HGTV show, and this cute girl that was in her 20s, like lived in New York, was getting her house done, and her name was Bowman. Bowman. I just think that's so cool. You call her Bo. I don't know. Bowman. I think it's a really strong name. Bobby absolutely said no, but it's cute. It's very, very different. Like, I don't know where they came up with that name, but I like it. Oh, okay, the next girl name is Eden. I used to babysit an Eden, Zion, and a King, and they were so cute. I loved their names. Very strong, cool names. Eden is a little bit more common now, but I think it's a cute, pretty girl name, and I always kind of liked it. I forgot, this was my top name for Wilson. It's a family name. I'm super sentimental. Like, I can't get rid of things. I'm just very sentimental about things. And so names kind of have that. Wilson James. James is my son's middle name, and that's my dad's name. That's my brother's middle name. Okay, we all go by our middle names actually. So it's my brother's first name, but he doesn't go by that. My brother's names are Grayson, Beck, and then James Zane. But we all go by our middle names. My first name's Hannah, if you didn't know that. You probably didn't. But we've never gone by our first names. Like, our legal first names, we have never gone by them. So my brother's always been Zane and Beck. I think both of those names are really cool. I think Grayson Beck is really cool. Grayson, I mean, is a cool name. Wilson, my nephew's name is Grayson. So anyway, we like those names. But my top name, I was getting at that because it's like a family thing, and I'm like, I like family names. Okay. My top name for Wilson was Holt. And let me tell you why. It's my grandpa's last name. I love my grandpa. He's one of my favorite people. I love my grandparents. And they finally moved here from Texas when I went away to college, and I've gotten to be living close to them for the last year and a half or whatever. It's the best. I love seeing them. But Holt is so special and cool. It's so different. I don't know any other kids named Holt. I know like Holtons. I don't like that. I like Holt. And it's his last name, and he only has daughters. So his last name is like ended. There's no more Holts being carried on, like within his, you know, little family. I'm sure there's other Holts in the world, but so I think it would be really cool to honor him and use that name. Bobby didn't really like it, but we liked Bear Holt. I'm rambling on so much because I have a lot to say apparently about some of these names. Some of them not so much because, like I said, I don't resonate with a ton of these names. They're just on my list. So if you're naming your kid and you want to use one of these names, let me know because I think that's really fun and cool. Because these are really fun names. They're different. And yeah, I hope this video wasn't too all over the place, but I will try to maybe put them all down below so it's easier for y'all to see them written out and stuff. But I hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and I hope all y'all that have been waiting for this video and asking for it, hopefully you liked this video, and I will see y'all in my next one.